When you scroll through Instagram, Twitter or TikTok, it feels like everyone else has crypto all figured out. You see screenshots of huge gains, Lamborghinis, exotic vacations and people claiming they retired in their 20s thanks to some meme coin. Now for someone juggling work, a mortgage or kids, this can feel like a punch in the gut. But social media only shows the highlights. People hide the failed trades, sleepless nights and money lost. Some even fake wins entirely, like renting cars, staging photos and just to sell you the dream and their courses. Now these illusions don't just make you feel inadequate, they can also push you into risky decisions that don't fit your goals. Most of those who brag online are quietly nursing losses behind the scenes, even if they never admit it. Like in the rest of life, the coworker who seems perfect but is struggling, or the friend who seems rich but is drowning in debt, the crypto world amplifies these illusions. Your quiet, messy progress is real and, to be honest, often better than the polished stories you admire online. Hi, my name is Rick Richardson and I have close to 2 decades of experience in the financial industry. Using this experience, I'm hoping to provide you with valuable insights. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 things why everyone seems to be more successful than you. When people tell you they made it big in crypto, they often leave out luck and timing. They'll say they believed in Bitcoin early or spotted a hidden gem, but more often they just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Back in 2011, buying Bitcoin felt strange and foolish. Yet, some who tried a small amount forgot about it and woke up rich years later. Stories of people turning a few $100s into millions during the bull run sound impressive, but for every one of those, thousands jump in too late or picked the wrong project and lost everything. You can study, plan and still fail if your timing is off. And someone else can make a careless bet at the perfect moment and look like an absolute genius. Now you don't control the clock. What you do control is showing up, learning and being ready when timing does favor you. Now you don't have to win the lottery or hate yourself for missing it, you still have time to write your own story. In crypto, it's easy to assume you know who's successful just by how they look, talk or what they post. A man in a suit at a conference or a woman posting 6-figure trades in a sports car can make you feel small, like you'll never catch up. But the surface rarely tells the truth. The man may have borrowed money and is hoping for an investor before his cards max out. The woman may have leased the car just for content while her portfolio is down. Even when someone is truly successful, their journey probably doesn't apply to yours. Maybe they took risks you can't, had insider help or have been grinding for a decade while you're just starting out. Many wealthy people in crypto don't show it, while many who flaunt it are barely scraping by. You can't judge success by appearances. Build your knowledge, stick to your plan and know that the quiet work you put in will mean more than looking like you've already made it. One of the quiet truths about money is you can't tell what someone spends to keep up their image. In crypto, this is even harder to see because it's all snapshots and posts. You see someone posting wins while sipping cocktails or showing off a new watch, and it feels like they're living a life you can't imagine. But what you don't see is how much it costs to keep that up. Many spend everything they make just to look successful, even going into debt to impress strangers. Now spending money and having money are not the same thing. The loudest spender is often not the most successful. In fact, many who live modestly even after big wins are the ones truly wealthy. You don't see the sacrifices others make for what you see on your screen. Maybe they skip vacations, live with roommates or neglect their future just to look the part. You're only seeing the part they want you to see and it may cost them more than it's worth. It's better to build a life that feels good when no one is watching than one that looks good for strangers. In crypto, as with money in general, people only show their wins. The losses, bad decisions and regrets stay in the dark, even though they're often the biggest part of the story. Online, it looks like everyone is up. Charts going up, champagne, celebrations, and meanwhile you're sitting there with red numbers wondering what you did wrong. But you're only seeing what you're willing to share. Nobody likes admitting they overextended, misjudged a project or lost everything. Even the most successful people have stories they don't tell, because almost everyone who's been in crypto long enough has felt the sting of hidden losses. They just don't talk about it. You're not comparing yourself to reality, you're comparing yourself to a polished story. Your losses don't make you a failure, they make you part of the story that nobody likes to tell. And the next thing happens without you noticing. You see someone your age or younger posting about how they made it, and you feel like you're falling behind. But comparing yourself to someone else's journey is a big trap. You don't know what risks they took, what they started with, or what they've sacrificed. You're comparing your path to their highlight reel. And this can push you into decisions that don't fit your life, like risking more than you should just to catch up. You lose sight of what you've already accomplished. Success isn't about beating the next person. It's about being better than yesterday and building something that works for your life. You're not behind, you're just on your own path at your own pace. When you first find crypto, the stories of overnight riches can make you believe it'll happen fast. For someone who's been working hard for years, this promise is incredibly tempting. So you set big goals and expect them quickly, but meaningful growth takes time. Even those who succeeded had to endure long stretches of flat or falling markets and learn hard lessons. Coming in expecting to get rich fast usually leads to disappointment and mistakes. When you see crypto for what it really is, which is a long game full of lessons and patience, you will take the pressure off yourself. Your goals are valid, but rushing will only make you stumble. Progress that lasts is slow and steady. And it's easy to feel like others have something you don't. Their field looks full while yours feels empty no matter how hard you work. But you can't see the weeds in their grass or the winters they endured before it turned green. The more you watch them, the less you're watering your own. Those you envy may have started earlier, gotten lucky, or just made it look better than it really is. Instead of obsessing over them, turn back to your own field. What you plan and tend today will grow if you care for it. Nobody else's success takes anything from you. Your path is yours alone and it will grow if you keep at it. One of the biggest reasons it feels like others are ahead of you is simply because their lives are different. Someone who's single with no obligations can risk more, spend more time researching, and recover more easily from their losses. Someone who has a family has higher stakes and more people depending on them. It can feel unfair, but it speaks to a quiet strength, which is providing for others while still working towards your goals. You may not move as fast or risk as much, but that doesn't mean you can't succeed. Your family isn't holding your back, they're the reason you're building something solid that will last. And the last one, which is one of the biggest differences between you and others, isn't how smart you are or how much they know. One of the biggest differences between you and others isn't how smart you are or how much you know. It's about how much risk you're willing to take. Some are comfortable putting everything into a risky coin or borrowing money to trade. Others, like you and me maybe, may prefer a steady approach that lets them sleep at night and care for the people they love. There's nothing wrong with either approach, but it's dangerous to compare your results to someone with a higher tolerance for risk. Big wins often come at big risk. You just don't hear about the many who lost everything taking the same gamble. Find the balance that works for you. Play your own game at your own level and keep showing up. That is still a win. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you next time. Doei!